יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו, מה טובו. אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, בני אהבתי, מעון ביתך, ומקום משכן כבודך, משכן כבודך, אני אשתחווה, ויחרב, אברך לפני אדוני, עושי, אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, מה טובו. אוהליך יעקב, משכנותיך ישראל, משכנותיך
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. I'm Rabbi Joshua Davidson, joined in the leading of our service by Cantor Corrsin and Rabbis Amy Ehrlich, Andy Kahn, and Sarah Sapaden. This morning represents a moment of extraordinary joy for our congregation as Ezra Sapaden, Sarah's and Danny's son, will be called to the Torah as a bar mitzvah. And as we begin, I would invite Ezra's parents to present him with his talit.
Ezra, I know you and our family love numbers and math. We, of course, are a 12 family. You were born on April 12th, Saul on 12/1, Gabriel on March 12th, 2012, Talia on 10/22, which takes a math, 20 is 12. Me on 8 and me on 12/17. Amazing. Is also numerical. As you know, each letter in the Hebrew alphabet symbolizes a numerical value. And the word tzitzit, which is right here, adds up to 600. And the 8 strings and the 5 knots add up to 13, which adds up to 600, a total of 613. The total of all mitzvot in our Torah. To boot, the word talit also has the same root as your sister's name, Talia. Ezra, you are now a bar mitzvah, and you now take on the responsibility of wearing this talit. Embrace this ancient tradition of our people, and let it always remind you to strive to live a better life in helping to repair our world.
Dearest Ez, when we were pregnant with you, Daddy and I would go to Shabbat services every week. And without fail, whenever the Cantor began chanting the Ve'ahavta, you, our preternaturally calm and tranquil child, would wake up and start kicking and dancing. It was wild. And it is this prayer, the Ve'ahavta, which teaches us about the talit, this beautiful garment which we will bestow upon you momentarily. And it is this prayer which says, among other things, you shall love your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your might. My love, as we place this talit upon your shoulders, this prayer shawl that God willing you will wear for years to come, we hope that you will always remember this. We love you with all our hearts, with all our souls, and with all our might. And on this day, as you stand ready to receive and transmit our sacred tradition, we hope you know just how endlessly proud we are of you, not only today, but every day. Mazel tov.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kishanu v'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hitatech b'tzitzit.
We continue together in our prayer book. If you are joining from home and do not yet have the prayer book, it's available at emmanuelnyc.org/broadcast, just below where you'll see this service being broadcast. Feel free to join along to your level of comfort at home. We are on the bottom of page 69. Each of us has come here with different needs and experiences. Some hearts are full of gratitude and joy. They are overflowing with the happiness of love and the joy of life. They are eager to confront the day, to make the world more fair. They are recovering from illness or have escaped misfortune, and we rejoice with them. Some hearts ache with sorrow. Disappointments weigh heavily on them, and they have tasted despair. Families have been broken. Loved ones lie on a bed of pain. Death has taken those whom they cherished. May our presence and sympathy bring them comfort. Some hearts are embittered. They have sought answers in vain. Ideals have been mocked and betrayed. Life has lost its meaning and value. May the knowledge that we too are searching restore their hope and give them courage to believe that all is not emptiness. Some spirits hunger. They long for friendship. They crave understanding. They yearn for warmth. May we, in our common need and striving, gain strength from one another as we share our joys, lighten each other's burdens, and pray for the well-being of our community. We continue with the Baruch.
La 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 la. Baruchu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam ha'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam ha'ed. La 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 la.
Page 71. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, yotzer or uvorech choshech, oseh shalom uvoreh et hakol, hameir la'aretz v'ladarim aleha barachamim, utuvo mechadesh b'chol yom tamid ma'aseh v'reshit. Ma rabu ma'asech Adonai, kulam b'chochma asita, malah ha'aretz kinyanecha. Tiparach Adonai Eloheinu al shevach ma'aseh yadecha, va'al me'orei or she'asita yifa'arucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, yotzer hameorot. Great has been your love for us and your compassion boundless. Our ancestors put their trust in you as they learned the laws of life. Be gracious to us that we may understand and fulfill the teachings of your word. Enlighten our eyes through the Torah that we may live by your commandments. Unite our hearts in love and reverence. We trust in you and rejoice in your guiding power, for from you comes our help. You have called us and drawn us near to you, to serve you in faithfulness. Joyfully, we lift up our voices and proclaim your unity. We praise you, for in love you have called upon our people Israel to serve you. We read together, first in Hebrew, then in English. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivod, Kivod Malchuto, Leolam Va'ed.
We continue with Ezra leading us in Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברתם בם. בשבתך בביתך ולכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם מאוד על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים אלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם. We continue on page 74. I rejoiced when they said to me, "Let us go to the house of God."
How shall we come before God? How shall we express praise and gratitude to our Creator?
We've been told what is good and what God expects of us.
To do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God.
Have we not all one Creator? Did not one God make us all?
Why do we behave divisively, setting one against the other?
Proclaim liberty throughout the land unto all the inhabitants thereof.
Let justice swell up as waters, and righteousness like a mighty stream.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, נורא תהילות עושה פלא. שירה חדשה שיבחו גאולים לשמך על שפת הים, יחד כולם הודו והמליכו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד.
Rock of Israel, redeem those who are oppressed and deliver those who are persecuted. We praise you, our Redeemer, the Holy One of Israel.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei Avotenu Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. El Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Anorah, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Ve'Koneh Hakol, Ve'Zocher Chasei Avot B'Maot, U'Mevi Gula Livnei Bnei Lemar Shemo be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atarav le'oshia. Mechakel chaim bechesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim berafech olim, Umatir asurim. Umekayam emunato lishanei afar, Micha mocha bal gevurot, Umidom melach, Melach b'midim mechayeh, Umasmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah lechayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai mechayei hakol.
לקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב על יד נביאך. וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, ולא כל הארץ עבודו. אדיר אדירנו, אדוני אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני, במקומו אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו ומלכנו, ומושיענו, והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון לדור ודור. הללויה, 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 הללויה,
Page 79. From generation to generation, we will declare your greatness, and throughout all ages proclaim your holiness. Your praise shall never cease from our lips. We praise you, the holy God. Our God and God of all ages, grant that our worship on this Shabbat may be acceptable to you. Sanctify us through your commandments, that the serenity of Shabbat may enter our lives. Teach us to be satisfied with the gifts of your goodness, and grateful to rejoice in all that you bestow. Purify our hearts that we may serve you in truth. Inspire us to preserve Shabbat as our heritage. May it ever bring rest and joy, peace and comfort to our homes. We praise you, God, who sanctifies the Sabbath. Amen.
בעמך ישראל ותפילתם באהבה תקבל ותהי לרצון תמיד עבודת ישראל. ישראל עמך קרוב לכל קרוב אלי אל עבדיך וכוננו שפך רוחך עלינו ותחזינה עינינו בשובך לציון. in Zion.
On this Shabbat day, as you receive our prayers, help us to more clearly hear your call. Grant us health to fulfill our duties and the compassion we need to attend to others. Teach us humility, that we may be more aware of our own faults, and grant us the wisdom to be more forgiving of others. Give us the courage to be true to our highest selves, and the kindness of heart to see the best in those around us. Give us patience enough not to be discouraged, hope enough to overcome our fears for the future, and the vision to be aware of your presence. O source of all blessings, look with favor upon us. May our service be acceptable to you. We praise you, whom alone we serve in reverence. We gratefully acknowledge that the eternal God is our creator and preserver, rock of our life and shield of our help. We thank God and sing praises for the gift of life itself, for our souls that are ever in God's keeping, for the signs of our Creator's presence that we encounter every day, and for God's wondrous gifts at all times, morning, noon, and night. Truly our blessings are without end, and God's loving kindness never ceases. Therefore, we forever put our trust in the Eternal One. Grant us peace, your most precious gift, O eternal source of peace, and enable our people Israel to be its messenger to all the world. Bless our country that it may ever be a pursuer of peace and its advocate in the Council of Nations. May contentment reign within our borders, health and happiness within our homes. Strengthen the bonds of friendship and harmony among the inhabitants of all lands. Plant virtue in every soul, and may our love for you hallow every home and every heart. We praise you, O God, giver of peace. As we've now prayed through the words that we've inherited from our ancestors that have guided our prayer for millennia, we turn inside for the words of our own heart. We pray silently.
Iul ratzon imre fi, Iul ratzon imre fi, Megion lebi lefanecha, Adonai tzuri ko'ali. Oh, may the words of my mouth, the meditation of my heart, be acceptable before you. Oh God, my rock and my redeemer. Shalom Ibroma, Uyahase Shalom Aleinu, Achol Israel, V'imru,
We turn now to page 85 as we continue with Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of our Torah. Our light is Torah, mitzvot are our lamp.
Pleasing are the ways of Torah, and all her paths are peace.
Dark and twisting is the road to peace. Happy the generation whose light will guide them to its end.
The students of Torah add peace to the world, as it is said.
When all your children are taught of the Lord, great shall be the peace of your children.
שאו שערים ראשיכם ושאו פתחי עולם ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מיהו זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני צבאות הוא מלך הכבוד. Selah.
This is the covenant that binds our people Israel to the one and eternal God. This is the Torah, a light for our eyes, a lamp for our way. This is the law that proclaims God as the creator of the entire human family.
We have been told what is good and what God expects of us, to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly with our God.
Ve'Yaakov lechu v'nelcha be'or Adonai. O house of Jacob, come and let us walk by the light of the eternal God. We say together, Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Ezra, in the scroll your mother now holds lies the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. In every generation, parents have passed it along to their children, sharing their own hopes and dreams for the future. Today, you stand as the newest link in the chain of Jewish life, reaching all the way back to Sinai, the chain that includes your grandfather, Seymour, of blessed memory, after whom you received your middle name, Shlomo, and a chain that extends into the future, to a time when, God willing, you will pass this scroll on to your own children and grandchildren. And I would believe only in that moment will you fully understand the joy and pride and love with which your parents and your brothers and sisters, Saul, Gabriel, and Talia, present the Torah to you this day, and with it, their words of blessing.
Thank you, Rabbi. Dearest Ezra, in my hands is a Torah. This Torah is contained the teachings of our people, wisdom and knowledge and insight that reaches back thousands of years. From generation to generation, it has been passed down, often at tremendous cost and tremendous sacrifice, in order that the Shal Sheret Kabbalah, the sacred chain of tradition, remain intact and continue on.
This is the Torah of Moses, it's the Torah of Miriam, it's the Torah of our prophets, our rabbis, our commentators too. This Torah belongs as well to our ancestors who fled the Crusades and the blood libels, the pogroms and the Nazis. It is a Torah brimming with history and heritage, revelation and revolution, triumph and terror, joy and pain. It is the totality of our history, rolled into one beautiful scroll. And on this special morning, we honor your history. We honor the Torah of your great-great-grandparents who traversed land and sea to reach the shores of freedom. We honor the Torah of your great-grandparents who worked their fingers to the bone to carve out lives here in America. And of course, we honor the Torah of your grandparents blessedly here with us this morning, who continue to teach you the most valuable lessons of life and love. Standing here, surrounded by heirlooms that are so dear to us, we take a moment to honor, in particular, the Torah of your great-grandmother, my Bubby. This picture of the rabbi once hung in her home, and I can still remember seeing it every day when I would walk in to visit her.
And we honor as well the Torah of your great-aunt Alice. This painting directly behind us belonged to her, and remember it hanging in her apartment in Brooklyn. Before it hung in her home, it hung in your great-grandpa Sam and great-grandma Helen's home. So too do we honor the Torah of my father and your late Grandpa Seymour, whose memory fills our hearts, and I know the hearts of many others who are listening in. This was their Torah, and now it will be yours. All the hopes, all the dreams, and all the knowledge that your predecessors possessed, they are here inside this scroll. And so too, all of the lessons they learned, they are built into the Torah's fibers to be forever contained in its letters. Ezra, as we pass this Torah into your arms, we do so with the hope and the conviction that you will guard this treasure well, that you will cherish it, study it, and most importantly, teach it, as your namesake, the biblical Ezra, had said to have done 2,400 years ago.
Dira says, of the Torah, it is said, turn it and turn it and turn it again, for everything is contained with it. As you go forth on life's journey, may you always find what you need in this scroll. May it fortify you when you're in need of strength and comfort you when you're in need of solace. May it challenge you to think more deeply about matters like justice, integrity, and compassion, and urge you to always act for the good, pursuing righteousness and decency and truth. And may it ever remind you of the sacred conversations that have filled its pages for centuries upon end, and encourage you to add your voice to that hallowed exchange. As never forget that you have a voice, a powerful, important, valuable voice, and that you have so much to contribute to this community and beyond. Our world needs you and your words of Torah now more than ever. And now as we pass this Torah to your brothers and your sister, and then to you, know we do so with immense love, unending pride, and boundless admiration for all that you are and all that you are poised to become.
Ezra, you're more fun than anyone or anything I know, including bubble wrap. Hazak, hazak, b'ni chazek, be strong, and may you be strengthened. Ezra, you're the best brother ever because you make everyone feel good. Mazel tov, the best brother ever.
Talia? Okay. Again, can you say your words? Okay. Can you say your words? Okay. Okay. Talia, time. As we love you, we're so proud of you.
Shlosha Devarim, Shlosha Devarim, Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omed, Shlosha Devarim, Shlosha Devarim, Shlosha Devarim, Haolam Omed, Al HaTorah, Ve'al HaAvodah, Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim, Al HaTorah, Ve'al HaAvodah, Ve'al Gemilut Chasadim.
This week's Torah portion is Parashat Behar Bechukotai in the book of Leviticus, chapter 26, verses 3 to 17, 42 to 46. The verses I'll be reading discuss what happens when you either listen to God's commandments or don't.
For the honor of the first Aliyah, we call Ezra's uncles and aunts, Brian and Naomi Sepadin, with cousins Aaron and Reed, Glenn and Jessica Sepadin with Aryeh, Elias, and Sela, Ken and Jennifer Yellen with Sydney and Zachary, Scott Yellen with Ava, and Samantha and Daniel Garrett.
Baruch Adonai Hamavarach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech Haolam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim Venatan Lanu Et Torato Baruch Atah Adonai Noten
Amen. Im bechugotai telechu that mitzvotai tishmeru vasitam otam v'natati yishmechem beitam v'natna ha'aretz ivula ve'etz hasadei ten period v'yisig lachem tali shabatzir ubatzir yasi getzara ve'achaltem lachmechem lasova v'shavtem lavetach beretzechem v'natati shalom ha'aretz Ushavtem ve'ein machari ve'hishbati chaya ra'ah min ha'aretz ve'cherev lo tavor be'artechem urdaftem et drechem v'nachli fnechem lecharev ve'adfu mikem chamisha me'ah u'me'ah mikem avayir dofu v'naflu orevchem lifnechem lecharev ufaniti alechem ve'hivreti etchem ve'hireti etchem
Now the closing blessing.
Baruch Atah Adonai
Eloheinu
Melech Haolam
Asher Natan Lanu
Anu Torah Emet
Behaye
Olam Natan Eloheinu Baruch Atah Adonai Noten HaTorah.
And now for the second Aliyah. We call Ezra's grandparents, Maureen and Tom Yellen Nelson, Grandma Cookie and Grandpa Tom, Linda Sapaden and Ron Goodrich, Grandma Linda and Grandpa Ron, and Ezra's parents, Rabbi Sarah and Daniel Sapaden.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Leolam Vaed. Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher b'chol ha'amim v'natan lanu et torato. Baruch Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. B'chaltem yachdan Bashan ve'yashahan v'chadash totziu v'natatim shchani b'tocham v'otidal nafshi etchem v'dachti b'tochechem v'iti lachem Elohim atam tili le'am ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim mi'ot lahem avadim Ve'eshbor metotochem ve'lachatchem k'miut v'imo tishma'u li ve'lo ta'asu ekol mitzvot ha'ela ve'im bechukotai tim'asu ve'im mishpatai tigal nafshechem livleti yasot ikmototai lafrechem ebriti afani esezot lachem ve'hifgadeti alechem v'ala et hashachet ve'et hakadachat v'cholot einai medibot nafesh Uzratam, Arik Sarachem, Bachaluhu Oivechem, Venatati, Fanai Bachem, Nidaftam Lifne Oivechem, Veradu Bacham Sonechem, and Astam Veinodei Betchem.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam natan Baruch atah Adonai noten HaTorah.
And for the third Aliyah, our bar mitzvah, Ezra Sapaden.
Yamod, Yamod, Yamod. Ezra Shlomo ben Yitzchak Yaakov v'harav Chana, habachur bar hamitzvah.
Baruch Hu Adonai Hamborach.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim v'natamanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'Torah. V'zacharti epriti Yaakov ve'af epriti Yitzchak ve'af epriti Avraham eskor ve'aretz eskor ve'af retz tesev mehem v'tiretz et shabtoteha v'shama mehem mehem yutzot avonam ya'anu v'ya'am b'mishvatai ma'asu ve'chukotai galan nafsham ve'af gamzot v'yotam Be'eretz oivehem, lo me'asim le'altim, le'chotam, le'afer briti tam, ki ani Adonai Elohehem, v'zacharti lahem briti rishani, asher hotzeti otam, meretz mitzrayim, le'nei hagoyim, li'yot lahem, le'Elohim ani Adonai, ele hachukim ve'mishpatim, ve'atarot, asher natan Adonai, Beinoho uvein b'nei Israel behar Sinai beyad Moshe. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam natan b'tocheinu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
And for the honor of dressing the Torah, we call Tali Sepaden.
Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe. Torah, 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 Torah tziva lanu Moshe.
Not only did Ezra spend months learning to chant the Torah so beautifully, he also spent months investigating its message and ways to apply it to his life in our world today. And we invite him now to teach us from this week's parashah.
Hello, everyone, and thank you all for coming. I have been fearful yet also excited for this moment for a long time. It means so much to me that all of you have joined us to celebrate this important milestone for me and my family, even if it is just by turning on your computer. When I received my parashah, Behar Bechukotai, I really did not know what to say about it. In English, Bechukotai translates to by my laws, but the portion is really about blessings and curses, and the present situation has taught me just how relevant it is. When people first asked about what my Torah portion was about, I told them to explain that if you listen to God, God would punish you. No, if you listen to God, God would bless you, but if you did not, God would punish you. In the Torah, these blessings and curses are pronounced right at the part where God is trying to prepare the Israelites to enter the land of Israel. The Israelites were desperate after they left Egypt, complaining about anything they could. As a result, they wandered 40 years in the desert. As the years passed, God realized that the Israelites would need many rules and guidelines to follow, and consequences for their actions, whether good ones in the form of blessings or bad ones in the form of curses. In Bechukotai, God spells them out. For example, they follow God's teachings and worship God alone. God promises to bless them with rain, that their land will flourish, and they have all they could ever need. However, God also warns, if you do not follow me, I will make you miserable, and your enemies will flourish. There will be no rain. Thus, God has a way of inspiring the Israelites to live and act well, while still giving them a choice to do so. At first, God's curses actually frightened me. When God says, I will remain hostile to you, I will smite you sevenfold for your sins, I will bring a sword against you to wreak vengeance on you, I thought that God was being very harsh. It is hard to imagine that this sort of God liking anyone. But then I realized that the Israelites needed the blessings and curses. Although they don't know it, God understood that a little display of power could provide a necessary dose of encouragement. After all, if God can split seas in half, then God can definitely curse your land with famine. God wants the Israelites to succeed, but they need guidelines to follow. These guidelines were not just for the generations of Israelites, but also for them to pass down onto the generations after them. That includes us today. Although we may not be able to follow every single rule, we can try to learn from even the ones that we do not. My portion feels especially relevant today, given what is happening with the coronavirus, which has hurt so many people in many different ways. Today, because of the fear of getting sick or getting others sick, people all around the world cannot see their families. I would be up on the Biba celebrating in person with my family and at camp in a month with my friends, but I still consider myself very, very lucky. Hundreds of thousands of people have lost their lives or people that they love. It is easy to look at the world and feel like we're experiencing a curse, that there isn't much we can do about it. But I disagree, because there are also many blessings you and I can think about right now, like how many doctors there are saving people's lives, people who make and deliver food, and many other essential workers. Belief in God can be a tricky subject and a complicated idea. Everyone has a different opinion on God. I don't know if I always believe in God, but when I do see God, I see God in the people that work even when they know it is dangerous to do so. See God in the people that donate money to charity. I even see God in the people that sacrifice their own wants by staying home to keep others safe. For the Israelites, their success as a community depended on everyone following God's commandments. They needed as many people as possible to follow these rules to make a happy, loving, and safe society. It is the same with us today. If you are staying home all day, but there are still people ignoring safety guidelines, the whole community suffers. We all need to remind ourselves, I am one more person helping out the world. Lastly, it is true sometimes, even if you do follow all of God's rules, you are a great person. Bad things still might happen to you. This is the way the world works, but we can learn from the bad times too. Without failure, there is no success. God knows that if people fail, it leaves room for growth. We learn to push past the difficult times with the help of other people, that it does not really matter what we did in the past, but how we act in the future. There's one thing I hope you learn from Parashat Bechukotai and my sermon, is that both good and bad things happen in life. No matter how many good things happen in our lives, there's still going to be failure. But sometimes we learn that out of failure, there will come success and blessings. Shabbat Shalom. This week's Haftorah comes from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16, verse 19 to chapter 17, verse 7. The verses I'll be reading discuss God reminding people that He is the only God. It's based on my Torah portion. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bachar b'nbi'im tovim v'ratzah b'divreihem hane'emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai abocher b'torah b'Moshe avto b'Yisrael amo mivi'ei ha'emet b'tzedek. Adonai, Uzi, Uzi, Menasi beyom tzara, Elecha, Goyim yavo me'afstei aretz, me'omru, Och sheker nachalu avotenu, Havel ve'en bam mo'iu, Hayaselo Adam Elohim, Behemalo Elohim, V'achein hineni modi'am, Bapam hazod, Odi'aim et yadi lekirati, Ve'yadu kishmi Adonai, Chatat Yehuda, Ketuvah, Ve'ed barzel, Betziporim shamir, Charisha, Alu achlipam, Ukarnot, Mizbechotechem, Kizkor bneihem, Mizbechotam, Vasherihem, all eights, Ra'anan, all Gevot HaGrohot, Harari, Basareh, Chaylecha, Choitzretecha, Lavaz, Eitan, Vamotecha, Bechatat, Bechol Gevulecha, Beshamateta, Uvcha, Michatetcha, Asher Natati Lach, Ve'avadaticha, Et Oivecha, ba'aretz asher lo yadata ki esh kedachtam be'al pi yaluam tu Kahn. Ko amar Adonai arur ha'gever asher yitach ba'adam v'sham basar zer'o emin Adonai yasu libo v'haya ke'arar ba'arava v'lo yireh ke'avo tov v'shachan charim b'midbar eretz melcha lo teshev baruch ha'gever asher yiftach b'Adonai Adonai yiftacho Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam tzur kol ha'amim tzadik b'chol dorot ha'el ne'eman ha'omer ve'oseh ha'medaber u'mekayem shechol dvarav ha'emet b'tzedek al Torah ve'al avodah ve'al nevi'im ve'al yom ha'shabbat hazeh shenatata lanu Adonai Eloheinu l'kedusha le'mincha לכבוד ולתפארת על כל אדוני אלוהינו אנחנו מודים לך ומברכים אותך יתברך שמך בפי כל חי תמיד לעולם ועד ברוך אתה אדוני
Baruch Shema.
מקדש השבת
Amen.
Simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, yehelanu, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael, yehelanu, ulecho Yisrael. Simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, mazel tov, simin tov, yehelanu.
Mazel tov once again, Ezra, and to your whole family as well. You can just see on their shining faces how proud they are of you. We continue now because we are in the period of the counting of the Omer between Pesach and Shavuot with readings from Pirkei Avot in our prayer book on page 96. Rabbi Yosef used to say, all who respect the Torah are themselves respected, and all who despise the Torah are themselves despised. Rabbi Jacob used to say, the world is like a vestibule before the world to come. Prepare yourself in the vestibule so that you may enter the hall. Better 1 hour of repentance and good deeds in this world than all the life of the world to come, and better 1 hour of bliss in the world to come than all the life of this world. Judah ben Tama used to say, be bold as a leopard, light as an eagle, swift as a gazelle, and strong as a lion to do the will of your divine parent. Love and revere God. Tremble and rejoice at all the commandments. If you have done your neighbor a small wrong, let it seem great to you. If you have done your neighbor a great kindness, let it seem small to you. But if your neighbor has done you a small kindness, let it seem great to you. And if your neighbor has done you a great wrong, let it seem small to you. Never be the sole judge, for there is only one who may judge alone. Rabbi Jonathan used to say, whoever keeps the Torah in poverty will, in the end, keep it in prosperity. And whoever neglects the Torah in prosperity will, in the end, neglect it in poverty. Rabbi Shimon ben Eliezer used to say, do not try to placate a neighbor who is still enraged, or to console one who has only just been bereaved. Do not question the wisdom of a vow newly made, and do not rush to visit a neighbor in disgrace. Rabbi Judah used to say, what is the right path everyone should choose? One that wins respect for them both in their own eyes and in the eyes of others. Keep these things before your mind's eye, and you will not fall into sin. Know what is above you, a seeing eye, and a hearing ear. All your actions are inscribed in a book. Let your private life be open to full view, and what is unseemly to be heard by all, do not say even to a friend. We continue now by turning our thoughts to those in need of healing. Many of us may only abstractly know those personally in need of healing right now, but many of us may know very closely someone in need of healing. If you are thinking of anyone in particular today in need of healing at this time, I invite you to share their name aloud now, wherever you may be. Mishe Berach Avotenu Abraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov V'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the one who blessed our ancestors Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Sarah, Rebecca, Rachel, and Leah, bestow the blessing of health and healing upon the sick and suffering in our temple family and community. May the Holy One look with compassion upon them and send unto them the blessings of renewed strength and revived spirit. And let us say, Amen. We continue with blessings for our congregation and our country on page 100 of the prayer book. O God, the source of all blessings, be with this congregation and with its members, their families and loved ones. May they prosper in their various callings and occupations. Help them in their needs and guide them in their difficulties. Bless those who guide and who serve this congregation and those who contribute to its strength. Hear the prayers of all who worship with us. Comfort the sorrowing and inspire with hope those who suffer in silence. Grant fulfillment and encouragement to the charitable and the merciful who aid the poor, care for the sick, teach those who seek learning, and extend a helping hand to those who have lost their way in the world. Fervently, we invoke your blessing upon our country. Guard us, O God, from calamity and injury. May we face adversity with courage and resolve. May the strength and vision of a nation founded upon your laws of liberty and justice increase from age to age. Enlighten with your wisdom and inspire with humility those whom the people have set in authority, the president, and those who counsel and advise our nation's leaders, the judges, legislators, and all our elected officials entrusted with our safety and the guardianship of our rights and liberties. May peace and goodwill unite the people of our land, and may the shared ideals of our various faiths and cultures enrich our communities, blessing our nation with a renewed strength of spirit. Bless the Jewish people wherever we dwell. May your favor rest upon the state of Israel and each of its diverse peoples and faiths. Grant that the promise of its rebirth may soon be fulfilled in healing and harmony. May those of our people and all your children in other lands who continue to live in fear and oppression soon be granted freedom, justice, and peace. Amen.
Alleluia Adonai iti uneromema shemo yachdav.
We continue on page 102. O God, you have guided our people with never-ending love. From the very beginning of our existence, you destined us for a sacred task, to toil for the speedy dawn of that day when you will be revered the whole world over, and all humanity will live in peace and unity. Joyfully, we consecrate ourselves anew today to the great task our people began long ago. Ours as well shall be the ceaseless aim to bring ever nearer that blessed age when this shall be the affirmation that unites all of humanity, one God over all, one human family of all.
God's teaching is perfect, reviving the soul.
God's word is unfailing, making wise the simple.
God's precepts are right, delighting the mind.
God's mitzvah is clear, giving light to the eyes.
God's doctrine is pure, enduring forever.
God's guidance is true and altogether just.
Behold, a good doctrine has been given to you. Guard it well. It is a tree of life to those who hold it fast, and all who cling to it find happiness. Its ways are ways of pleasantness, and all its paths are peace.
Eitz chaim hi lamach מחזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושר. דרכיה דרכנו עם וכל נתיבותיה שלום. השיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה. חדש חדש ימינו, חדש ימינו כקדם.
Dear friends, I want to share with you a very unusual teaching based on the verses Ezra chanted for us from the second half of this week's double portion, Bahar B'chukotai, which begins, "If you walk in my laws and keep my commandments and do them, I will give you rain in the proper season and make the earth yield its produce and its trees bear fruit." Rabbi Yochanan considered the opening verse, "If you walk in my laws and keep my commandments and do them," and wondered its apparent redundancy. Why was it necessary for God to add the words, "and do them"? And then Rabbi Yochanan answered his own question. If one learns with the intention of not doing, he taught, it would have been better for him, quote, had he not come out into the air of this world. For Yochanan, any Torah study that is not intended to lead to some action in the air of this world, whether in our own lives or the lives of those around us, is Torah study wasted. This rebuke of those who would relegate Torah study to a purely intellectual pursuit gave rise to the Talmudic explanation for the crease we each have above the upper lip. According to Tractate Nidah, while a child is still in its mother's womb, an angel teaches it the entire Torah. But the moment it emerges, the angel slaps it on the mouth, leaving this scar and causing the baby to forget everything. Why? Because the learning done in utero cannot possibly be undertaken for the purpose of doing. But once born, the child has the opportunity to learn Torah again, this time motivated by the desire to do. Thus, from the Talmud, we are taught that if study does not lead to action, what we learn can easily be knocked out of us. It won't stick. And from Rabbi Yochanan, we are warned that the world doesn't need any more bystanders. What it needs are activists. Which returns me to the first half of this week's portion called Bahar, on the mountain. There, we are reminded through the laws of the sabbatical year and the prohibitions against farming the land to the point of exhausting it, that the earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, that we are but tenants on it, here to protect it, to enjoy its bounty, but also to share that bounty with those less fortunate than ourselves. The laws of the Jubilee year in Leviticus 25 present us with the Torah's wonderfully idealistic vision that every 50th year families would return to the land assigned them when first the tribe settled Canaan, no matter how much a family had acquired in the years since or how much it had lost, thus providing an economic reset and preventing wealth in an agricultural society land to become increasingly concentrated in the hands of the few. In fact, there is no evidence that this instruction was ever put into practice. It seemed to be more the reflection of an ideal than anything else. But the warning against allowing the gap between the rich and the poor to grow unchecked is one that certainly speaks to us in our day. Consider the societal inequities revealed by the coronavirus pandemic. To be sure, it affects everyone. As Ezra noted, we had hoped to celebrate in a very different fashion today. All of us have seen our plans overturned as we have been compelled to stay home. Among those of us in New York, there probably isn't one of us who doesn't know someone who has died from it. The suffering in every community has been horrific. But how can we not also acknowledge the fact that minority communities have suffered disproportionately, or pretend to be surprised by that? Many have called the coronavirus a plague of biblical proportions. I would suggest it is a plague of characteristically American proportions, because the victims most impacted have been determined by poverty, ethnicity, and race. According to data compiled through the end of April, Black Americans were dying at 2.7 times the rate of white Americans. In those states reporting the race of those who perished, African Americans constituted 13% of the population, but had suffered 27% of the deaths. The president asked naively, why is it that the African American community is so much more likely to die than everyone else? It doesn't make sense. But it makes perfect sense when you consider the chasm in housing, healthcare, criminal justice, and the nature of the jobs often held. Ethnic and racial minorities are more likely to live in denser population centers, in tighter quarters, in multi-generational households, and further from the best medical care. Hispanic Americans are almost 3 times as likely to go without health insurance than whites, and African Americans almost twice as likely. Their incarceration rates are higher in jails and other detention centers where we know the disease easily spreads, and they are more often employed in jobs that don't permit working from home and offer no paid sick leave. But the result of the inequities extends beyond the medical. The economic impact is also hitting minorities disproportionately. Among whites, unemployment is at 14%. For Blacks, almost 17%, and for Hispanics, almost 19%. Policing has long presented a challenge. According to recent data, more than 80% of those receiving summonses for violating social distancing rules in New York were Black and Latino. And the crisis has exacerbated inequities in childhood education. Minorities are more likely than non-minorities to reside in school districts without the equipment necessary for online learning, and more likely to live in homes without reliable internet access and electronic learning tools, and parents available to help them because those parents, if they are working, are serving in jobs requiring their physical presence. For many Americans, the inequities they endure stem from the institutionalized racism that denied generations before them equal opportunity to climb the ladder of social mobility. For others, ongoing racial bias, gender inequality, barriers to obtaining citizenship and work authorization, poorly resourced schools, and our own political and economic priorities have left them behind. Expounding on this week's parashah, Isaac Mayer Rothenberg, author of Ger, taught that each Jew was born into the air of this world to repair one part of this world that no one else can repair. This is what Hillel meant when he said, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? And the Gerer Rebbe continued, each hour offers the chance to do some bit of work, to make some progress, which can be made only then. That is what Hillel meant when he warned, if not now, when? So here's the good news. Every crisis presents an opportunity. This could be our moment to address our failures of the past. As Rabbi Yochanan taught, if we take Tzorah seriously, the challenges of our time cry out for our response. Let not the sense of urgency and personal accountability be lost on us. The world needs a lot of fixing, more than any one of us can do alone. But together we can lift up Torah's teachings of gentleness, justice, and social responsibility, and at least make a start of it. Amen. Ezra, this portion, Bahar B'chukotai, was written for you, because today that is where you stand, Bahar, on the mountaintop. And today that is what you are doing, embracing God's chukim, God's guidelines for living the most meaningful lives we can. From this mountaintop moment, in your mind's eye, you can look out over the years, the paths that brought you here, the study, the months of hard work and preparation. And you can see those who brought you to this moment and celebrate it with you, loved ones and friends. And perhaps from this mountaintop, you can also glimpse the future, paths yet to be traveled, high school, college, and beyond. We pray those paths lead you from one joy to the next, and that you appreciate those joys truly as blessings from God. But we also know along life's road, there will be challenges, such as this one. You'll be faced with difficult decisions, dilemmas, mazes through which the teachings of your heritage can offer you guidance if you make its study a lifelong pursuit. Sadly, the world below the mountain does not always heed the values you have braced here on the mountaintop. Often you will be told to put those values aside, to do what everybody else is doing, even when you know it's not true to the best inside you. At those moments, remember this moment. Remember the day you stood Bahar on the mountain. Society's values are often passing fads from television shows and magazine ads. Your values are enduring, and they come from Sinai. As you descend the mountain, we will look to you to teach those values to the rest of us, as you taught them to us so beautifully this day. And from the mountaintop, we look out into our own future and know that it will be that much more beautiful for the role you will play in shaping it. Ezra, it brings us special joy to celebrate with you and your family. Your mother has become a much beloved rabbi to our congregation and a much beloved colleague and friend. I actually knew your parents even before they knew each other some 20 years ago. So for me, this is a moment of great personal happiness. We, your Temple Emanu-El family, are so very proud of you. We love you for who you are and for whoever you are yet to be. And with that pride and love, I would invite your parents to ask God's blessing upon you now.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha. May God bless you and keep you. Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's radiance shine upon you and always be gracious to you. Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'yasem lecha shalom. Shalom. And may God's countenance always be lifted to yours and bring you, your beloved ones, and all those who are important to you, and all those in the world, a Shabbat and a life full of peace. We love you. We love you.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. Amen. Page 104. עלינו לשבח לאדון הכל, לתת גדולה ליוצא בראשית, שהוא נוטה שמיים ויוסד ארץ, ומושב יקרו בשמיים ממעל, ושכינת עוזו בגובהי מרומים, הוא אלוהינו אין עוד. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
Page 105. May we gain wisdom in our lives, overflowing like a river with understanding. Loved each of us for the peace we bring to others. May our deeds exceed our speech, and may we never lift up our hand, but to conquer fear and doubt and despair. Rise up like the sun, O God, over all humanity. Cause light to go forth over all the lands between the seas, and light up the universe with the joy of wholeness, of freedom, and of peace.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו אחד.
Page 109. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we love. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. At this time of tender memory, we call to our hearts cherished members of our own congregational family. James A. Block, Lillian Brodsky, Ralph Chait, Elaine Turner Cooper, Paul Danilo, Boris Duchovny, Louis Eckstein, Lou Garcia, Richard Gilder, Belle Blick, Abraham Gordon, Jack Halpern, Stephen Richard Hertz, Francis Aaron Hess, Richard M. J. Dell, David Carlin, Robert Levy, Rose Mittman, Francis Platel, Paul Putter, Phyllis Shackney Robbins, Miriam Rosen, Gerardo Rosenkrantz, Bernard Rothman, Barbara Sandelman, Philip A. Schaefer, Beverly Silverman, William B. Troy, Linda Saar Weingarten, Beverly Weiss, Eleanor Zelkin. If you are mourning a recent loss, we remember with you. And if you are commemorating a yahrzeit, the anniversary of a death of a loved one, we remember with you. We remember to and take into our hearts all those whose lives have been lost to the coronavirus pandemic. We continue with the Kaddish on page 111. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, Yomadiv rachu te b'yamlich malchute, v'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayedechol beit Yisrael, v'agalav bizman kariv, v'imru ameh. Yehei shemei Rabba mivorach leolam la'olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpoar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. Yitadar v'yitalev yitalal shemei dekudashah b'riachu. La'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechemata. D'amiram b'yoma v'imru. Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya v'chayim. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. Oseh shalom b'imromo. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru. Amen. May the source of peace send peace to all who mourn and comfort all who are bereaved among us. We say together, Amen.
Oseh shalom bimromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, imru, amen. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu, v'al kol Yisrael.
Shabbat Shalom, and thank you for sharing Shabbat with us this morning. Temple Emanu-El is an online house of prayer and study and connection, and all who seek to join us in peace are most welcome. And Ezra, Mazel Tov to you and to your parents and your whole family. May you always go from strength to strength and blessing to blessing. We invite our members to join us for the annual meeting of the congregation on Thursday, May 21st at 6 p.m. The annual meeting is an important time for us to come together as a congregation, reflect on who we are and where we are going. We'll celebrate the promotion of Rabbi Andrue Kahn to Associate Rabbi and honor Carolyn Silberstein upon her retirement from the nursery school faculty. The annual meeting is also the time at which we will elect a new class of trustees, and they are class of 2023, Charles S. Cohn, Warren H. Haber, Kimberly W. Hartman, Daniel Block J. Dell, Dina Kleiman, Dr. Masha Mimran, Andrew F. Moses, Stephen H. Ripmaster, Penny K. Wallerstein. The meeting will be held virtually. Please respond to the invitation that was sent to the congregation this past week in the e-news. All members are invited to register to receive a Zoom link for the meeting. I hope to see you there. In the week ahead, visit our website to find out about our Monday morning meditation, Wednesday's Zoom happy hour for young members, as well as our weekly support group for those over 60. The Stryker Center continues online this week with classes on the Book of Ruth in preparation for Shavuot, Women on the Move book group, and the Trial of Jesus from a Jewish Perspective with Dr. Mark Weistach. These are open to all and live streamed on our Facebook page. And please be sure to join us next Friday night on Shabbat as we honor Cantor Alex Kurland as she concludes 3 wonderful years with us. Now, as an ordained cantor, she leaves Emanu-El to serve a congregation of her own. Please join us to share the joy of honoring her. For information about all that is happening at Emanu-El, please visit our website, emmanuelnyc.org. We hope to see you online soon and often. We conclude now with the singing of Adon Olam in your prayer book on page 119.
Adon Olam Hashem Malach, ay da da da, b'terem kol yitzir nivra, ay da da da, v'yetasa v'chefso kol, ay da da, azay melech shmo nikra, ay da. ואחרי ככלות הכל, לבדו ימלוך לא רע, והוא היה, והוא הווה, והוא יהיה בתפארה, אדון עולם השם מלך, טרם כל יציר נברא, ויתעשה וחפשו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, והוא אחד ואין שני, להמשילו, להגבירה, בלי ראשית, בלי תכלית, ולא עוזרי המזרח. אדון העולם השם מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, ויתנשא וחפשו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, והוא אלי וחי גואלי, בצור חבלי בצרה, והוא ניסי ומנוס לי, מנת כוסי ביום אקרא. אדון העולם השם מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, ויתנשא בחפשו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, ויעטוף כי רוחי, ותשען ויהירה, ובין רוחי יביעתי, אדוני לי ולא יראה. אשר מלך, בטרם כל יציר נברא, ויתנשא בחפשו כל, אזי מלך שמו נקרא, יברכך אדוני וישמרך.
May God bless you and keep you.
יאר אדוני פניו אליך ויחונך.
May the light of God's face shine upon you, and may God be gracious to you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God lift his countenance toward you and grant you peace.
Amen.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.